Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of the AnyRail tutorial. On this edition, we are going to go over curves, crossovers, and if I get enough time, we're going to go over yards. That gets substantially more complicated. Let's start with making a curve. If you remember from the part 1, we used the track library here and went to Atlas Code 83, and we've used the flex track number 500. We have a piece of that right here, and we're going to make this into a curved piece of track. So if you highlight it, we'll go up here to Curve Flex, click on that, and you'll see where we can add our angle and the radius that we want to make this curve. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and do a 90 degree, something simple. And we're going to go with a 36-inch radius. And also remember, this is all HO scale. And we are also still on the track layer, or track for our layer. So we hit OK, and there, instantly you have got a 90 degree piece of 36-inch radius track. So we're going to add that to the not to scale passing siding that we added here. So you can just click with your left mouse button and connect that, and voila, we now have a curved piece of track. Now, one thing that's pretty unique, if you've got a double track situation going on, usually it's a good idea to go a 3-inch on track center. So if you click this, you can you hit add parallel flex, and you tell it, do we want it to the right or to the left of this piece. So let's go ahead and put in 3 inches to the right, and bam, it will automatically add it. So we got that one. Now if you look down here, it's going to tell you the information for that piece of track. So if you look there, we got a radius of 36 inches and a 90 degree piece. Atlas Code 83 500. You go to the next one, you'll see it's already at 33. So that makes it pretty nice that it automatically adjusts the radius. And then it will, depending on how far you want it, if you wanted to go on the outside, if you added 3, it'd be a 39-inch. So that is how you add a curved piece of flex. So if you click on that, you can also hit copy and paste it in your work area. And we can continue around if we wanted, like that. Also, so we're going to go, which we covered last time, about disconnecting. We can also change, so this one's already preset, so we go back to curve flex and you'll see this information is still in there. So let's say we want a 45 degree piece. There, it's already in there. And there we go. So so that is how you do curved track. It's pretty simple. All right, so next item on the list is crossovers. Okay, so this starts to get a little bit more complicated in putting these in doing a crossover. So what I ended up doing with the high desert division, let's go ahead and save this. I'll show you what I ended up doing. I've got this file called track parts. In here, I put in a whole bunch of masters of different track pieces that I know I was going to be using over and over again during my layout design. So I even labeled them fast track number 8 single crossover with a 2-inch track center. And then I got, for 3-inch for number 8, number 6 for 3-inch. You got a couple different yard templates that I made up. Yeah, I even went crazy and crazy double crossover there. I even made up mock-up locomotives, freight cars. Even got passenger cars in here. This is the Southwest Chief. Is what that one will be. And then, as you can see here, I even designed up signals, cantilevers, Not exactly sure what that little guy is. Then yep, we'll even have some semaphores. Then crossing crossbucks with crossbucks with lights and lights with lights and gate. Road pieces, just different things. So these were just different templates that I would design and then use them as I was doing the layout planning. Being that you don't have this file, if maybe I'll post this on the Facebook page. I can put this in the files on the Facebook page. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So if you are not already have joined the Santa Fe High Desert Division's Facebook page, go ahead and put in a request. I'll approve it, and then you can get access to the files that are on there, and this will be one of those. So let's go back to our demo here on this, and we're going to show you how I actually made those. Let's grab this track here and copy it. Go ahead and paste. And let's add a parallel flex below it at 2 inches. Okay, so let's zoom in so we can really get in on the action. And this, you're going to have to really zoom in eventually here. Okay, let's go to our track libraries. Whatever brand you happen to be using. In my case, I'm doing Fast Tracks. So we'll put in a left hand here, and we'll be done with that. We'll go ahead and copy, paste, and then we'll rotate that 180 degrees. Okay, so first one's easy. Just anywhere, just do a right click, hit cut flex here, right click on the little white dot, hit disconnect. That track becomes free. Click and drag your turnout, and then reconnect that. Now, you can actually, so we'll just for the heck of it, we'll connect those. You can see that these are not lined up, and so your spacing, if you went ahead and just did that, you would not have your track on 2-inch center. So because of that, we'll disconnect, and let's just cut off a little piece here, cut flex here, disconnect. Okay, so we got this little teeny piece of flex here. We're going to go ahead and add that onto that right there. Now we're going to grab this and kind of just guesstimate right now. Kind of just, you just got to eyeball it on where that might be. Now that's just kind of, if we got lucky we got right on, but I'm guarantee you we didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to show, and I want to look actually at the center lines, and then we're going to really zoom in. So I gotta keep, if you use the mouse wheel, you'll go up and down. To go left or right, you actually have to hit the scroll bar. So we're going to go right on in here. Alright, I had to pause the video for a second. For some reason, it was not liking me clicking down here while doing this screen capture video. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'll put this back to track. As you can see, it's pretty bold. But this whatever view works best for you, but I'll show you what I'm trying to do. So you can click on this turnout here, and sometimes it's, there we go, we finally got a hold of it. So we're trying to match up, if you can see the black lines of the other turnout and the black lines from the double track main, we're going to try to match the sizes. So if you look at the bottom, that turnout, it's almost matched up there. And then we've got to keep bringing it out. Oh, nope, a little high on the bottom. Then I'm too low on the top. So you just got to keep tweaking this. It takes some time. Okay, so the bottom, there. I got the bottom lined up, almost. There. Okay, if you look down here, you can see the bottoms, the thickness is all lined up, and same thing right here. It's all lined up right here. So I will leave that right there. I can cut the flex here, disconnect it. That one, just going to shove it up there for right now. Whoops, we did not want to move that. There. Okay, so we'll bring this piece in. There. Now that will lock it into place. Then we can cut this one, disconnect. Let's see if we can get a hold of that. That's okay if we do that. There. Let's delete that. I hit the delete key on that, by the way, guys. Yeah, that thing went way out of, let's zoom out here. Okay, so we don't need this extra, so we'll delete that. Grab this, bring this around. There. Voila. Now we've got it. So let's zoom out, and you'll get an idea of what we've got. Now we have a, let's copy this. There. Now we have got a single crossover in. I have not done a double crossover. I know that some actually with, let's see, I've never actually looked. Let's see if Fast Tracks actually has that in. They do. So if you need a double crossover, if you're using Fast Tracks, they've actually already got that piece in here. So you don't have to worry about that. There it is, because they have the jig for it. And I think some people, well, what used to be Shanahora, which is no longer around, I think they may, I believe they also had a double crossover that you could purchase, and like that. So that way you wouldn't have to go through the step that I just did. You just enter this and you keep on going. Because I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a, well, easy way to check. That is on 2-inch. Yeah, that's on a 2-inch track centers. There we go. So you can actually add that in there. All right, so there. That's the crossover. So once you've got that made, then just you can just drag and hold your left button to highlight something like I just did there, and then copy and paste it into a template file, and then you've got that saved. So anywhere else in your layout that you may need a crossover, now you've got it. Okay, now let's go over yards. This gets to be the fun part. Okay, what I'm going to do is I will show you what I did on the high desert division. Yes, I want to save the changes. Let's see what layers we got on. All right, let's turn. Let's go to the mid-level. So let's turn the lower level stuff off. Yeah, you can start to see how many levels I've got on mine. There's a lot. Let's see, signals. Let's go dimensions, bench work. Those three we can leave out. Okay, here we go. This is La Junta Yard that I'm showing here. I'm going to scroll a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So what I have here is I've got 3 arrival and departure tracks, 3, 6, 7 classification tracks, and a pass-through track up on top. You got a little bit of a locomotive facility and locomotive storage on one side. On the other side, we have a rip track and maintenance away. So then I also have, wish this was longer, but got a drill track on each side. So I'm not going to go into the fundamentals of designing a yard. That's a video for a different time. But basically, I have designed it so that way the yard master can switch out the yard via the drill track, and be independent from trains coming in and out of the arrival departure So, okay, so come to a, what we're going to do is we're just going to design a simple yard ladder here. Whether you do double-ended or stub-ended, again, that's depends on your design and what you got for space. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the video demo. Yeah, we'll go ahead and save changes because we may come back to that. All right, we're going to zoom out a little bit here. All right, so we don't need that. We'll move this demo, oh, excuse me. Move this demo piece up here. And let's let's just copy this. There we go. Okay, so we're going to say that, let's make this bigger. Straight flex. Let's go 200 inches. There, now we got a real piece of track. Okay. So, again, this comes down to personal preference. I kept my first arrival and departure track at 3-inch track center. So you can easily just add a parallel track above it at 3. Okay, there we go. Now I also used here, and I already got some here, so I can just copy this one. I used a number 8. Any turnouts or switches that are on the main line are number 8, unless it's going into a industrial spur right off the main line. But I try to do most of them on the siding, but that wasn't always the case. Hey, it makes it a little bit more fun, a little extra challenge, let's put it that way, for operations. All right, so let's copy this turnout and paste it. Well, I could have thought I copied it, maybe not. Copy. There we go. Paste. All right, let's cut this turnout in. There. Now we got our turnout in for our yard. Add, oh, well, let's delete that. I put it in the wrong one, so we'll just add a new parallel flex 3 inches above it. There. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and plan as if we were going to do a drill track. So let's cut the flex here, or no. I love that undo button. That thing can be a game changer. Or actually, yeah, this is what we'll do. Yeah, we will cut the flex there. Disconnect. Then we can make this piece here longer. Straight flex. Let's go 250. There. Now we added a drill track on the other side of our turnout lead for our yard. Okay, so let's now we already did that 3-inch track center, which is right here. No, that's 2-inch. So, all right, use the same method. I'm not going to go through that method again to save time. I go to my track parts. Let's grab this 3-inch crossover, copy, video demo, paste, delete that, cut that in, connect those tracks back up. Then we'll cut the flex here. There. Okay. Now we're going to get to our track libraries. Let's grab a number 6. Left hand. Disconnect. Sorry if this seems to be fast. It's not my intention. Okay. So we're getting the stuff cut in here little by little. All right. So we're just going to now add a parallel flex at 2-inch above that. So we'll just say we have 2 arrival and departure tracks. It doesn't You may have one, may have four. It all depends on your design. We're just going to keep adding parallel flex to start building up the yard. There. Okay, so that kind of gets us quite a few tracks there to get started with. Okay, let's zoom on in. Okay. Now, let's get a number 6 right hand. Now what I will do is I will get this turnout, put the diverging route on one of these yard tracks there. Now I've got it in the right orientation. Now, because it will not be the same, because this is a number 8, or no, that is a number 6, so yes, no, that will be the same. But you can't just put it together because, as you can see, they definitely don't line up. So we're going to have to put a little piece of flex in there. So what we'll do, goodness, I really went off the deep end on this one. Wow, okay, that's all right. So we're going to cut a small chunk. And add that to the diverging side of this turnout. There. And we're going to get it, copy, edit, paste. And just for illustration, we're going to put it on the normal route on that turnout as on the other turnout. So again, we're just kind of eyeballing it here. There we go. Now I had did it the previous one and it's going to be the same method here on this. So now this is going to be a little bit harder to do because I'm going to be looking at this right here, getting that lined up, which, man, almost looks like I've got it. And then I'm lining up this end, so I know where to cut this little teeny piece of flex that's in here. So let's go to the center line view. That's show and center line. And this one, so instead of trying to line up two pieces or two sides, you're just basically lining up the one big main bold line. So I'm going to pause this a second so I can zoom in. Okay, I got zoomed in. Whoa, okay, that sometimes can be a problem. Yeah, the little bit of movement goes a long way with this. Okay, so as you can see, that's actually lined up. Wow, look at that. Okay, well, I've got a saying, I'd much rather be lucky than good, and I've got it spot on. I'm gonna zoom out, but yeah, look at that, I got it spot on. Okay, and then you can also, as you can see it with the center line, see the line is exactly the same. It's not jogged up one way or the other. So what we'll do, we'll go over here. We can cut this, delete this piece, grab and drag, and connect it. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And we'll go back to the track view here. And then we'll cut this, cut flex here, delete. There. Now, that's all attached. Now we got to do that one more time. So you can't just simply copy that, delete, paste, snap it here, We'll grab this number 6, copy it, and paste it, and snap it there. Okay. Well, boy, that's pretty close. It's almost. We'll have to we'll zoom in and verify. So as you can see, we're starting to design this ladder of the yard. So let's zoom in. Oh, look at that. Now I can zoom in. Yeah. I had jinxed myself. Okay. Center line. Yeah. See where that's jogging right there? That's not lined up. So it is close. Really, really close. But not quite. So we're going to zoom back out. We'll go back to track view. Disconnect that turnout here. We'll disconnect this piece. We'll still use it. We'll just make it a little bit longer. So it's 4 and 5/32. We're just going to go ahead, for argument's sake, go ahead and make it 6 inches. Because that will cover, yeah, there we go. Now we'll be able to see on both sides. So we'll go ahead. Oops, I moved that backtrack. We don't want that. Okay, so just eyeball it at first while you've got it zoomed out. Makes it a little bit easier. Sorry for the time. Yeah, I mean this takes practice. Once you start doing it quite a bit, you'll get used to getting it really, really close. Okay, so now it's zoom in time. Wow. Nope, it's a little bit. Looks like it might be a little bit off. But we'll go ahead and move back to the center line. Yep, just a tad bit. Nope. Undo. What you can do also is you can glue this. So we're going to glue that backtrack. So that way we're only moving this turnout. Okay. Yeah, and this makes it a little bit more of a pain because you got to go back and forth, because you want to zoom in, but at the same time you want to make sure you get that exactly perfect. There, I think we might have it. Now we got that end. And we've got this end here. Okay, we've got it. Alright, so we're going to zoom out. Go back to track. So we can unglue this. We'll cut it. Disconnect it. You can click on this and hit the delete key. And then we'll cut this flex. Disconnect. This little piece, we'll delete that. Oh no. Haha. Undo. There we go. You can see how that little plus sign is darkened. That's what you want. There. Okay, so now we've got these two. So why could we not use this piece here, that right there, over here? It's because of this little piece is coming off the divergent route, whereas up here it's coming off of the normal route. So there's just a tad little difference in those two pieces, just enough. And again, remember, this is turnout specific. So I'm using fast tracks. If we were using Atlas, it would be completely different. But the principles are still the same. So now we can grab this piece. So what I'll do is I'll grab this, hit the control key, hold it down, click on the turnout, let go of the control key, right click, then copy, paste it. There we go. And then paste again. Now we're getting the ladder built. And these pieces, as I'm cutting the tracks here, there we go. Then we'll bring them and reconnect them. There. As you can see, yeah, we're getting the ladder built up. Now, for time's sake, I'm actually going to save this, and then I am actually going to go into the layout, the High Desert Division, because I'm going to copy something. Now, sorry about that. Okay, so you could simply cut this track and bring it, loop it around to tie in here. But if you want to have a bypass of the yard ladder, you're going to need to put another turnout up here. So with that said, I am going to cheat a little. Use the same principles, but I'm going to copy that. And go to our video demo. I'm going to paste it. Excuse me. So now, this what I was after was this little piece right here. That piece right there. So I'll show you what you can do. Option 1 is just guesstimate and cut it there. We'll disconnect it because we'll use this piece later. And, oh, whoops. I need another piece of track. So we'll go back over here where that real super long one is. I was thinking more about what I was going to need it for to show you guys next. Okay, so we'll add that here. Then we'll cut it right here, kind of just close to it. Doesn't have to be exact because you're going to move it. And it will automatically shrink or get longer as you need. There. Oh, look at that. Don't even need to make adjustments to get rid of the minimum curve or minimum radius alert. So there. You can do it that way. Now, there you go. Or if you want I call it the bypass track. I know that's probably not correct, but whoops. Okay, so see how I've got the turnout highlighted and I'm moving it. I cannot connect it down. See, if I try to connect it here and I'm on this track piece, it will not allow me to do it. So I have to go to this little teeny piece, click and hold and drag that. Now I can connect it. Then I will drag this one out to connect with that. There. Now we've got the turnout set up for a little bypass, which actually won't work down here. We have to make it a little bit longer. So let's we can do this. Let's add the turnout in. So we'll copy this number 6. We will paste it, put it in there, stick that bad boy in there. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that piece isn't exactly right, but you get the idea. So you got to cut and mess around with it. This will not be exact, so in the interest of time. Oh. Let's go back to this one. Okay, get rid of that turnout. We don't need it. Because we're going to drag that. I don't like how that's really sharp, so we'll cut this. And then we'll delete that. Bring this around. We'll glue that piece. And then we'll make adjustments here for cosmetics to make it look better. There. We'll unglue it. Connect our drill track back. There we go. So now, connect our drill track. So you got a little bypass track right here. Now, if the way this is set up, if you've got trains coming into your A&D track, you are going to foul up your classification. So I don't recommend tying your classification tracks into your arrival and departure, just like I showed you in what I've got in my yard. But this is kind of get you, once you get the mechanics down, then you can really start tweaking on how you want your yard designed. You could put separate tracks. Say you got like 3 classification tracks, has its own lead into the drill track. And then, I mean, you can get really crazy. Depends on how big or how small of a yard. If it's your major classification yard, you might want to do something pretty crazy or elaborate. Whereas if it's just a small little yard to be able to switch cars in and out of in a short-term storage, then you'll want to design it a little bit differently. A design like what I've got here will work just fine. Okay, so as before, so that concludes. We went over making a curved piece of track. We went over designing a crossover, like we did here for 2-inch and 3-inch. And then we also went on, discussed on how to make a yard ladder. So, as you can tell, things are getting more complicated than the first part. And then we'll go on. The next one will be part 3. We'll go on to more details. I still have not figured out which ones those are going to be yet, but it will be a continuation of more tutorial on how to run the AnyRail software. If you, like before, if you have got questions, please feel free to ask in the comments section. I try to look at it regularly, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Also, please subscribe to the video to get email alerts for new updates on the AnyRail or update videos. I'm sorry, tutorial videos on the AnyRail or update videos on the Santa Fe High Desert Division layout. And if you like it, please like. If not, hey, that too. I'm trying to do this to try to, on the request of a couple fellow modelers that wanted to have a clinic on AnyRail. So all your suggestions and comments are definitely welcome. Thanks for watching, and happy modeling.